so that we may bring you the Philadelphia Phillies versus the San Diego Padres.
Hi, everybody, from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. Welcome to Phillies baseball. This afternoon, the Phils open a West Coast swing against the San Diego Padres. Danny Jackson goes for the Phillies and Greg Harris for San Diego. Harry Callis with Rich Ashburn and Chris Wheeler on a gorgeous day for baseball. And the talk around here, Whitey, is concerning Fred McGriff. It seems imminent that he will be traded somewhere. He's not in the lineup today. They say he's hurting a little bit, but all indications are that McGriff could be traded as early as today.
Well, it's curious that he was in the original starting lineup and was all of a sudden taken out because of an illness. Now, I saw him in the clubhouse and even talked to him a little bit. He acted like he was in pretty good shape. But it's kind of tough on him because, you know, he is in limbo. He knows he's going. He doesn't know exactly when. Now, this is, in baseball finances, this is payday. This is the 15th. They get paid on the 1st and 15th. I know he got paid today, so I guess it doesn't make much difference, but I think he's out of here, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone by morning.
Probably so. And, Wheels, this is an important trip for the Phillies, the first game of an 11-game road trip on the West Coast.
Well, Harry, you know Jim Fregosi does not like to have meetings. He had one this morning, and the reason he had it was he said he just wanted to reiterate to his players, number one, he's really proud of what they've accomplished so far, but they have a ways to go. He said, you know, sometimes when you start to lose a little bit the way the Phillies were, you start to drag a little, you get your head down a little bit. His feeling is he just wanted to remind them how good a baseball team he thinks they are, how proud he is of them, but when they win a game the rest of the way, don't get too up, and if they lose a game, don't get too down.
So it's Greg Harris going for San Diego and Danny Jackson for the Phils. Starting lineups for you in a moment.
The Phillies and the San Diego Padres is being brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies. By the Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company. And by Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
The Bud Light Spotlight's on Phillies!
We'll tell you what we like with our Bud Light.
Beach volleyball and Bud Light. Give me the Flyers and a Bud Light.
Cheesesteaks.
Cheesesteaks. Cheesesteaks.
And I'm already with the Philly cheesesteaks. Anything goes well with Bud Light.
We like Bud Light and Jack.
Bud Light! Bartender, we need a Bud Light.
It's Saturday. I'm not going to mow the lawn. I'll hire him to mow the lawn and paint the garage. No, the garage. I'm dreaming big. With Super 7, I'll buy a car. No, cars. Meet exotic people. Not him. Her. I'll be in the money. Moolah. Saturday. Super 7. If I can dream it, I can win it.
We know how to help you save during the Dodge 93 model clearance. Take that Caravan with the family value package you've been wanting. Yup, the one with air at no extra charge. For a total savings of up to $13.57. So you can buy America's best-selling minivan for around 15 grand.
Is this correct?
Absolutely. The factory-authorized 93 model clearance. See your nearest Dodge dealer today.
Back at Jack Murphy Stadium, San Diego, Jim Fregosi's lineup this afternoon. Lenny Dykstra, center fielder, leads off. Milt Thompson, left fielder, batting second. John Crockett, first base, hits third. Dave Hollins, the third baseman, batting fourth. Aaron Dalton, catching, hitting fifth. Jim Eisenreich in right field will bat sixth. Mickey Morandini, second baseman, hitting 7th. Kevin Stocker, the shortstop, bats 8th, and batting 9th and pitching Danny Jackson. That lineup facing Greg Harris.
Greg Harris, 8-9 on the season. ERA just under 4, 3.99. Averages about 5 strikeouts a game and about 2.5 walks per 9 innings. Does not throw quite as well as he did a couple of years ago.
Defensively behind Harris, Arky Sinfraco at third base, Ricky Gutierrez at shortstop, Tim Tuffle at second, Phil Clark at first. Bob Guerin doing the catching in the outfield from left to right as Phil Plantier, Derek Bell, and Tony Gwynn. The umpires this afternoon, Bob Davidson calls the balls and strikes. Bill Hahn at first base, Larry Poncino at second, and Rich Rieker will umpire at third. Lenny Dykstra to lead it off for the Phils, hitting at .295, way out in the league lead in runs scored with 85 of them. Tied for 5th in the league in on-base percentage, tied for the league lead in doubles with 26. Harris has won 8, lost 9, 3.99 ERA. Starts Dykstra with a curveball for a strike.
Today's first pitch at 106.
Harris has a good curveball. He is susceptible to the long ball. He's given up 17 home runs. That's tied for the league lead. Jose Guzman of the Cubs also has given up 17. Another curveball, and I don't think Dykstra's been happy with either call, but he's in the hole, 0-2.
He thought they were both high, and they were borderline. The ball does break. Has a big trajectory to it. You can see it loops down in there. I'd not say that's a strike. It's also a good pitch to hit.
No balls and 2 strikes to Lenny Dykstra. Fastball up for a ball. It's 1-2.
Fred Muller birthday today in Reading, PA.
Breaking ball misses, 2-2. Belated birthday wishes to Flo O'Neill of Tuckerton, New Jersey. Great Phillies fan.
And Larry Biggs in Northampton, PA, celebrates on this July 15th.
Missed wide with a fastball. So after getting ahead of Dykstra 0-2 with a couple of deuces, he's run the count full at 3-2. Lenny is second in the league in walks with 72, one behind teammate John Kruk. Line drive hit to right field. So Dykstra's aboard with a leadoff single to right.
This is a great at-bat for Dykstra. Running it full after being buried in the count and then rifling that ball to right field. Fastball. Ball really skipped off the outfield grass. This is a beautiful ballpark, grass and dirt.
Brings on Milt Thompson. Milt hitting at .254. Fastball inside. At Jack Murphy Stadium today, enjoying the ball game from Sewell, New Jersey, are that Michael and Matthew Haran. Missing for a ball. It's 2-0.
Belated birthday to Grace Capriola in Devon, celebrated on July 10th.
Little dribbler to Clark. He'll tag Thompson in the base path and moves Dykstra up to second base. Milt Thompson is out. Dykstra at second base with 1 down for John Kruk. Trucker batting at .350, third best in the league. Leads the league in on-base percentage, 5th in the league in slugging percentage. Leads the league in walks, and he's 3rd in the league in runs scored.
glad to get out of that All-Star game, I think. Not a memorable game for him.
Some fan just yelled, "Throw it over his head," which Randy Johnson, of course, did in the All-Star game. 1 ball and no strikes to Crocker. David Rossi, a birthday today. And Catherine Haggerty celebrating her 89th today. Her favorite player all time is Whiteness. You, pal. 2 balls and no strikes.
Joseph and Barbara Melanowski, 38th anniversary a couple of days ago. We weren't on the air then.
Got the called strike, although Kruk didn't think so. 2 balls and a strike to John Kruk. You shade him around to the opposite field in the outfield. Same spot. Kruk thinks those pitches are wide outside, but
here we go again. That pitch is outside. It's a ball, but they're going to get called strikes in that area.
Kruk is pointing to something. It's not a Babe Ruth point for a home run. It's a point at something in the outfield. I don't know what.
Might be a mirror out there, or something shiny reflecting in his eyes. You know, there are, believe it or not, fans who will sit out there with a mirror and shine that thing in your eyes. I've seen that myself.
Fly ball left field. Plantier there makes the catch. Kruk's out, 2 down. And the batter will be Dave Hollins. Hollins hitting at 277. He went 1 for 1 in the All-Star game, a double. And a good hitter with runners in scoring position, 345 with runners in scoring position. Kruk again is pointing out to the center field area to Bob Davidson as we look at Jim Fregosi. After that at bat.
What you do if somebody is indeed shining a mirror in your eyes, you get it out of there. You wait. It's hard to see the ball when you have that sun's reflection right in your eyeballs.
He's going to get that pitch, so he'll live out there. No balls and 1 strike to Dave Hollins.
Ray Tenney in Audubon, PA, a birthday today.
Pops a foul out of play. Jim Ruth and Diane Pareco, loyal fans from Glassboro, New Jersey, here for this series.
And Bertram and Mildred Compton in Laurel Springs, New Jersey, married 60 years today.
Nothing in 2 to Dave Hollins. One ball and 2 strikes. First of an 11-game West Coast trip, 4 here, 3 in Los Angeles, and 4 in San Francisco. Ball and 2 strikes to Dave Hollins. One other day game today at Candlestick. The Mets playing San Francisco. Hollins pops the fastball foul out of play. It's still a ball and 2 strikes.
Steve Farkas in Bethlehem, 83 years old today. He's a guy a little bit troubled. Jim Riggleman, the Padres manager, they're taking all these ball players away from him. He seems to be handling it very well. He doesn't have much choice.
Wide with it. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dave Hollins.
Ben Kazarowski in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, 80 today, and our best to Janet Myers in Rendell, PA. A couple of broken ankles.
Curveball didn't miss by much. Full count to Hollins with Darren Dalton waiting on deck.
Happy 90th birthday to Alex Murray.
Curveball got it over. Hollins called out on strikes, and that'll retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left after 1/2. Phil's nothing. Padres coming to bat.
Listen up. We have a fugitive that's been on the run for 90 minutes. What I want out of each and every one of you is a hard target search of every gas station, residence, warehouse, farmhouse, hen house, outhouse, and dog house in this area.
Put that gun down! I didn't kill my wife!
Harrison Ford is The Fugitive, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, August 6th at a theater near you.
And now for something different.
Domino's new thin crust pizza.
It's really something.
A crispy, crackly, crunchy crust pizza. It's a whole nother taste in a whole nother way.
Now that's something.
Try it now and you'll also get
something for nothing when you call Domino's.
Right now, you can buy 2 delicious medium thin crust pizzas for only $8.99. That's right, 2 for $8.99. But it's for a limited time. Domino's delivers. Call today. All fans receive a great-looking poster, compliments of Thriftway. The teams wear uniforms from 1933. The Phillies play the Pirates on Nostalgia Day, Sunday, August 1st at 1:35. Call 463-1000.
Jim Riggleman's San Diego lineup this afternoon. Ricky Gutierrez, shortstop, leads off. Tim Tuffle, second baseman, batting second. Tony Gwynn in right field will hit third. Derek Bell, center fielder, bats fourth. Bill Clark, first baseman, hitting fifth. Phil Plantier in left field bats sixth. Arky Sinfranco, third baseman, batting seventh. Bob Guerin will catch and hit eighth. And Greg Harris pitching and batting ninth. They're facing Danny Jackson.
7 wins, 6 losses. ERA a little over 4. Averages about 5 strikeouts a game and a little over 3 walks a game.
Dave Hollins at third. Kevin Stocker at short. Mickey Morandini at second. John Kruk at first. Aaron Dalton catching. The outfield as Milt Thompson, Lenny Dykstra, and Jim Eisenreich from left to right. Ricky Gutierrez leads off. He takes one on the outside corner for a strike. He's batting at .270. Inside corner, so Jackson goes outside and then inside, and Gutierrez is quickly down 0-2. Gutierrez is part of the youth project that they're starting here at San Diego. He's 23. They got him from Baltimore in the Craig Lefferts deal. Ball and 2 strikes to Ricky Gutierrez. Danny Jackson starts it with a strikeout. 1 down here in the first. It'll bring up Tim Tuffle. Tuffle hitting .243. Lifetime against Danny Jackson, just a .192 hitter. He has hit a home run off him. Danny is 1 over 500, 7-6, a 4.05 ERA. A lot of that absorbed in his last outing when, because of the use of the bullpen, he had to stay out there in a game that he got knocked around a little bit. Lifetime against San Diego, he is 8-4. 1 ball and no strikes. Won't be too much conversation between Phil's catcher and the plate umpire today.
He really had a head-on collision. Who was that, St. Louis?
That was in Cincinnati when a balk was called on Larry Anderson, and Bob Davidson was the plate umpire and Darren Dalton the catcher. And critical time of the game, and Darren was just livid. 3 balls and no strikes to Tim Tuffle. Jim Fregosi did a good job of coming out of the dugout and holding Dutch back.
Getting thrown out himself.
Yeah. 3-1.
Play that many games and you're going to have trouble with certain umpires, no question. And most of the time they forget it. I think sometimes a few grudges are hanging around, but mostly, you know, you can't spend your whole summer fighting umpires.
Tim Tuffle aboard with a walk. It'll bring on Tony Gwynn, hitting at .331. That is 8th best in the National League. Averages seem to be higher this year. Usually around All-Star break, .331 would be close to leading the league. One strike to Tony Gwynn. Center field. Dykstra has a bead on him. But he makes the grab. Gwynn's retired. 2 down. They'll bring on Derek Bell. The original lineup had Fred McGriff in, with McGriff hitting in the 4-hole, but I'm going out with his slight back problem evidently. And of course, amidst all kinds of rumors that it's only a matter of time before he's traded. Derek Bell is hitting at .265, 13 homers, 42 RBIs. He has some power, has some ability. He'll also strike out a lot. Leads the league in strikeouts with 79. Really jammed him, and he pops it to Mickey Morandini, and that'll retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of 1, it's a 0-0 game.
These summer clearance rebates, we won't have to yell and scream to sell a lot of Elantras.
Do we have enough Elantras?
We just got plenty of them. And I want them out the door at $81.49 after the $1,000 rebate. With 2 years no-cost service, about all they'll pay for is gas. It's the best time for selling without yelling. Now let's get out there and sell some cars. Now get limited time Hyundai summer clearance rebates of up to $2,000 on Sonata V6.
The metal cylinder is secured and turned in a counterclockwise motion, causing the internal railing to rise and disengage. It's easy to make something as simple as opening a jar complex. The challenge is making the complex simple. But that's what we do at Bell Atlantic Mobile. We take cutting-edge technology and place it comfortably in your hands. Bell Atlantic Mobile. Advanced technology, and people will make it mean something.
Roy Rogers' new family buckets are perfect for busy parents. Pick up a bucket of Roy's Incredible Fried Chicken, a bucket of Juicy Roast Chicken, or a bucket with both. Now just $7.99 each. Plus, every bucket is capped with a free flying disc. It'll keep your kids entertained for hours. Okay, minutes.
One of a kind, Roy Rogers.
After 1 inning of play, the Phils nothing and the Padres nothing. Upcoming telecasts of Phillies baseball include tomorrow night's game at 10:30 and Saturday night's game at 10:30 right here on PHL 17. Darren Dalton leads it off for the Phils. Dutch hitting at .244. 15 homers, 65 RBIs. He's in a bit of a skid before the All-Star break. Still tied for second in the league in runs batted in with 65. And he slams that ball down the right field line. Dalton on his way to second. Now on his way to third. Missing the cutoff man is Tony Gwynn. He had trouble in the corner with it. It'll be a stand-up triple for Darren Dalton, his third three-base hit of the year.
Couldn't see what happened to Tony back there. He goes in behind the stands. Dalton really went out. Past Clark at first. Now Gwynn's over there. Well, we get it with our camera. There he drops the ball. He was going to come up firing. That cost him the extra base. Double and an error.
Oh.
That's kind of harsh scoring when you're kicking around over there behind those stands.
Yeah.
You know, trying to get the ball out.
One ball and no strikes to Jim Eisenreich.
Infield is back. Conceding a run.
Base hit left field. Jim Eisenreich. Dalton scores. Phillies lead it 1-0.
Eisenreich just sliced this ball past the third baseman, Gianfranco. You know, the bottom of the Phillies lineup, in this particular lineup they use against right-handers, it really scores quite a few runs, which makes me think that the Phillies are going to start seeing a lot more left-handers. You can put Cavilla and Chamberlain in there against the left-handers. But I still think that the opposing managers would rather see the right-hand hitters in there than the left-hand hitters.
Oh, I do too, but in this case, like in this series, it'll be all right-hand pitching against the Phils. Dodgers don't have a left-hand starting pitcher, so at least for the first 7 games of this trip, the Phillies will see all right-hand pitching. Giants, of course, have a couple in Hickerson and Bud Black. 1 ball and 1 strike to Mickey Morandini. Two and 1. Morandini batting at .243. Mickey's tied for second in the league in triples with 6 of them. Franco, and Eisenreich just able to get back ahead of the throw. So Morandini hit it on the nose, but right at Archie Sinfranco.
Mickey really had an excellent batting practice, and of course hit the ball sharply there, but right at Sinfranco. Eisenreich had kind of headed towards second while he got back, just barely.
We'll bring on Kevin Stocker. Stocker hitting at .375. 5 for 10 right-handed, .286 his average left-handed. One ball and no strikes. Off the high pitch, it's 2-0 to Kevin Stocker. Joe Clark, first baseman. He was in the original lineup doing the catching. When Fred McGriff was scratched, they moved Clark to first and brought in Bob Guerin. behind the plate. Fly ball left field. Plantier puts it away. Stocker's out, 2 down. It'll bring up Danny Jackson. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Phillies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Phillies.
Pitcher number 27, Danny Jackson.
Jackson's batting at 105, 2 doubles, 1 run batted in. Danny hit a couple of balls out of here in batting practice. Fouls it back up and just below us. One strike to Danny Jackson. Good breaking ball, 2 quick strikes to him. A little bit wide, 1-2. Struck him out. That'll retire the side. Second strikeout for Harris, but the Phillies get a run on 2 hits. 1 Padre error, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Phils.
Join Al Bundy for a night on the town.
You look fabulous. You're gonna knock 'em dead at the bowling alley.
You're taking me bowling on my birthday?
It's your birthday? Kids, tonight Mommy rides in the front seat.
Let Mr. Romance sweep you away.
Peg, unzip it. The bag peg.
On the next Married with Children.
Tonight at 6:30 on PHL 17.
It's Toyota's July's Jumpin' Sales Event. Drive the car everyone's talking about. Camry XLE V6, the best car built in the U.S. And right now, our special Camry lease program makes it even easier to get into our popular 4-cylinder Camry. Experience what Car and Driver calls one of the 10 best cars for 1993. But see a Toyota dealer now, because with deals this good, you gotta jump on it.
Toyota's got it.
Hot cars, hot deals.
July is jumping.
The Phillies look to cook a Canadian goose when they play Montreal Tuesday, August 10th, and Wednesday, August 11th at 7:35. And Thursday, August 12th at 12:35 and a business person special. Then Bonilla, Doc, and the Mets make a house call Friday, August 13th, 7:35. Saturday, August 14th, 7:05. And Sunday, August 15th at 1:35. When kids 14 and under get a free Phillies road jersey. Call 463-1000.
Live, learn, and play with Boa, Cash, Johnstone, Lazinski, and many more this January at Phillies Dream Week. 1 full week in Clearwater Beach to play with the pros. Call now for more information, 215-938-1200. Space is limited. Call now, 938-1200.
Well, our third business person special of the year coming up Thursday, July 29th at 12:35 against the St. Louis Cardinals. Always fun in the sun. Compliments of Mellon PSFS. That's July 29th, 12:35 against the Redbirds. For tickets, call 463-1000 or stop by the Center City ticket office at Mellon PSFS, Broad and Chestnut Streets. Phil Clark leads it off. 1 strike to Clark. He's hitting at .311. 25-year-old, signed originally by Detroit. Younger brother of Gerald Clark. Fouls it off. He was an original first-round draft pick of the Tigers in 1986 at the age of 18. Spent most of the year at Toledo last year, but came up at Detroit at the end of the year and hit .407 in 54 at-bats. He's out of there on strikes. Second strikeout for Danny Jackson. I'll bring up Phil Plantier.
Clark didn't like that particular call. He thought it was inside.
Phil Plantier.
Was a little bit.
It's a good pitch for Jackson, though. When he's pitching well, he goes in there hard. He breaks a lot of bats.
That was too far in to Plantier. Plantier hitting at 247. He's hit 14 home runs. Fouls it back, 1-1. They're in the third, a candlestick, 0-0. Mets and the Giants. Eric Hillman going against Bill Swift in that one. Tied to him. It's 2-1.
Plantier really has a great swing. He's a power swing.
Missing inside again. 3 balls and a strike. Bills lead 1-0. We're in the bottom of the second. Inside again. Second walk given up by Danny Jackson, and that'll bring on Artie Sinfraco. Sinfraco is hitting a 186. They got him early in the season from Montreal, and the deal has sent Tim Scott to Montreal.
Artie Sinfraco.
Plantier, the runner at first base. One down here in the second. He had a cut at the fastball, fouled it back. 1 strike to Sinfraco. Fly ball right field. Eisenreich hardly has to move. Makes the grab. Sinfraco out, 2 down. I'll bring in a guy that has really hurt the Phillies this year, Bob Garrett. Overall, he's hitting at 219, but against the Phils, 5 for 11, including a home run, and was robbed of a grand slam home run right here at Jack Murphy Stadium by Milt Thompson. Actually leaped over the fence to bring the ball back in. Guerin was a late insertion in the lineup. One ball and no strikes to Bob Guerin. Plantier, the runner at first base, with 2 down. On the outside corner for a strike, it's 1-1. Bills on top, 1-0 here in the second. Low. 2 balls and a strike to Bob Guerin. Guerin is from San Diego, so happy to sign with the Padres. Fouls it back and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bob Guerin. Runner going, swing and a miss, struck him out. Third strikeout for Jackson. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one left. At the end of 2 here at Jack Murphy Stadium, it's 1-0 Phils.
Live from Philly, it's Bud Light.
Bud Light is in the house! I'm talking about Bud Light.
Bud Light is slamming. We just want a Bud Light. Is that so wrong? Salute. Ah, amigo. Hey, it's Bud Light. Yeah! Birdman loves Bud Light.
I need a Bud Light. We live in Philly and we love Bud Light.
Ask for Bud Light.
What could a minute cost if your 800 service goes down? If you're a player on Wall Street, $910,000. But with us, you can stay in the game. Introducing the AT&T 800 service Never Miss a Call guarantee. Now, if there's a problem, we can reroute your calls in less than a second. Sign up for the Never Miss a Call guarantee. It's the #1 reason AT&T 800 service is always the smartest play. AT&T, the best in the business. Guaranteed.
Professional sports, where athletes take more punishment in one game than you'll give your body in a lifetime. These pros don't share playbooks, but they do share a secret for protecting themselves from injury. Coach products from Johnson & Johnson, the official sports tape and elastic bandages of the NFL. Now, Coach products are available at Acme, so go all out in your favorite sport with Coach and stay in the game. Coach, the choice of professionals, now at Acme.
All fans receive a great-looking poster, compliments of Thriftway. The teams wear uniforms from 1933. The Phillies play the Pirates on Nostalgia Day, Sunday, August 1st at 1:35. Call 463-1000.
Our trivia question of the afternoon: in the last 5 years, who's the Major League's leading home run hitter? Most home runs, not counting this year. Coming into this season, in the last 5 years. Lenny Dykstra leads it off for the Phillies here in the third. He singled his first time up. Send along our very best to good friend Andy Kaufman, recuperating from surgery at Pennsylvania Hospital. Hope Andy's feeling better real soon. 1 strike to Lenny Dykstra. Speed pitch for a called strike. Dykstra in the hole, 0-2. It was a count on him his first time up. He worked the count to 3-2 and got a base hit. Curveball, and he's out of there. Called out on strikes. Third strikeout for G.W. Harris.
He knew that was a strike. That was a good pitch, curveball that dropped right in there. That's probably the best pitch he had to hit of the 3.
Brings on Milt Thompson. He tapped out to Phil Clark his first time up, and he's beaten a lot of ground balls, and Harris throws him out.
They're throwing Milt hard stuff inside, and he just smothers that ball and tops it.
First baseman, John Kruk.
Sunday, August 1st is Nostalgia Day against the Pirates. It's a fun day. The Phils and the Buccos will wear uniforms from 1933 as we turn back the clock. All fans receive a great-looking poster featuring all the Phillies' offensive players, compliments of Thriftway. That'll be August 1st against the Buccos. For tickets, call 463-1000. Curveball to Kruk for a strike. Kruk flied out to left field his first time up. Hard ground ball, but Clark has it to Harris covering in plenty of time. And the Phillies go down in order in the third. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the bottom half of the third. It's 1-0 Phillies.
We know how to help you save during the Dodge 93 model clearance. Want the power of the world's only true midsize pickup? Then you want a Dodge Dakota Sport. It's had 18 months of record sales with the muscle of its available Magnum engine. And it has a price of around $10,500.
Is this correct?
Absolutely. The factory authorized 93 model clearance. See your nearest Dodge dealer today.
Okay, panel. How can you recognize the genuine Yellow Pages?
It has a yellow cover.
Good.
This is a Belle of Pennsylvania on the front?
Right.
It has more choices inside.
Yes! That's how you tell a genuine article from mere imitators. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
The genuine Belle of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company.
My store is my life. I've given it everything. To me, there's nothing else like it.
At Nationwide Insurance, we believe that every business is different. Each one has its own needs. You have to...
They've helped me with my home and car insurance, so I knew we could develop a plan to protect my business.
And the last thing Bob needs to worry about is insurance. That's my job.
Nationwide is on your side.
Today's Phillies game on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. By Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change. And by your local Dodge dealer. Come in today because we know how to help. Greg Harris, the pitcher, leads it off here in the bottom half of the third inning. Harris batting at 191. Well above his career norm. Coming into this season, his lifetime average was under 100. He has hit 3 doubles this year and knocked in 2. Ground ball shortstop. Stocker throws Harris out, 1 down. Our trivia question of the afternoon: in the last 5 years, who is the Major League's leading home run hitter?
Shortstop, Ricky Gutierrez.
About Fred McGriff.
You got it. Crime Dog. Crime Dog has hit 171, 3 more than Mark McGuire, who would be second. One ball and no strikes to Gutierrez. Bills lead here 1-0. We're in the bottom of the third. San Francisco's taking a 1-0 lead over the Mets in the fourth at Candlestick.
That's Bill Swift pitching up there. It's Eric Hillman.
One ball and 1 strike. A foul out of play, 1-2. Just missed inside, 2-2. Gutierrez struck out his first time up, 1 out here in the third. Inside again. Full count to Ricky Gutierrez. Fouls it down the first base side. Big crowd here at Jack Murphy Stadium. Haven't been drawing too well. Fans a little disappointed. Walking. Third walk given up by Danny Jackson. The batter will be Tim Tupple, who walked his first time up.
They've all been with one out, too, those walks, and you know that flirting with some trouble when that happens, especially when you have some decent hitters coming up, which the Padres have here. Tuftle, Gwynn, and Bell. Padres haven't hit but one ground ball. That was this inning. The pitcher hit it to Stocker.
Gutierrez back on a fairly close play. Gutierrez has not been much of a base stealer. He's stolen one. He's been thrown out once. He goes, though, and Dalton's throw in time to get Gutierrez. That's out number 2. Strong throw by Darren Dalton.
Yeah, Dalton really got the throw off in a hurry. The throw was high. Gutierrez had a decent jump. Good tag by Morandini on the high throw. He got the glove down there and got the body before the hand got in there.
So 2 outs and no base runners. That's a big out for Danny Jackson. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball and 2 strikes to Tim Tupple with 2 outs and no base runners. Phil's on top 1-0. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. Well hit to deep left center field. This ball off the base of the fence. Tupple will get 2 on it. A stand-up double. So the throw out at second base, a big play for the Phillies. That's the first hit given up by Danny Jackson.
Like Tupple hit an off-speed pitch. Not getting around on. Couldn't hardly tell there, but it was up and over the plate. Good pitch to hit. Tupple hit it off the end of the bat just a little bit.
Tony Gwynn flied out to center field his first time up. One ball and no strikes to Gwynn. That one over, 1-1. Jammed in, and he hits a ground ball to Kruk, and that'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Chris Wheeler joins Rich Ashford in the 4th at the end of 3, 1-0 Phils.
Come see castles and knights, explore legends, be bold, conquer dragons, cross countries, hear tales being told, adventures waiting, there's no time to waste. Come see, come conquer, there's only one place.
It's summer clearance, guys, and here's the catch. With these rebates, I don't want us to yell and scream like everyone else.
Big rebates on Excel?
Oh, yeah. We just got a ton of Excels with $600 rebates that knock them down to $62.99. With 2 years no-cost service, about all they pay for is gas. With these rebates, we'll let everyone else yell. Now let's get out there and sell some cars. Please? Now get limited-time Hyundai summer clearance rebates of up to $2,000 on Sonata V6.
The Phillies look to cook a Canadian goose when they play Montreal Tuesday, August 10th and Wednesday, August 11th at 7:35. And Thursday, August 12th at 12:35 at a business person special. Then Bonilla, Doc, and the Mets make a house call Friday, August 13th, 7:35. Saturday, August 14th, 7:05. And Sunday, August 15th at 1:35. When kids 14 and under get a free Phillies road jersey. Call 463-1000.
Phillies will play the Cardinals at the end of this road trip, July 27th at Veterans Stadium. First two night games at 7:35, 27-28. 29th is the business person special at 12:35. And then the Pirates come in Friday, Saturday nights, and then a Sunday afternoon. Sunday is the nostalgia game. And that'll be the last time that Phillies will see the Cardinals in Pittsburgh at Veterans Stadium due to the new scheduling. Dave Hollins leads it off. Strike on Dave. He struck out looking his first time up. Hollins, Dalton, and Eisenreich. Here in the fourth, the Phillies lead it 1-0. Eisenreich knocked in that run after a Dalton double and an error. Ball and a strike to Hollins. He's hitting at .276. Beautiful afternoon here in San Diego. And we understand the Philadelphia heat wave has been broken.
Figures as soon as we left town. Phillies were looking forward to getting out here, though, and playing in this weather after that heat wave at home.
Base hit. Hollins with a leadoff single here in the fourth, and Darren Dalton will bat.
Harris throwing fastball, curveball, and changeup. Pitch out over the plate, and Hollins hits it towards left center. They had him played over that way. The left fielder Plantier was kind of taking the alley away from him, or he might have had a double.
Dalton has doubled and scored a run. Phillies a run on 4 hits. Padres no runs, 1 hit. Strike on Dalton. That's hitting .247. His double was ripped into the right field corner. One and one the count.
Dalton last year, and he said he was going to do it again this year, after the All-Star break, went to a lighter bat because he was dragging so much going into the break with as much as he was playing. And he came out after the All-Star break and had a terrific second half.
Off-speed pitch. Fooled him.
Harris, as we mentioned, has a really good curveball, and there it is. He's come out with a good one today. He threw first 2 pitches of Lenny Dykstra, threw curveballs for called strikes, so he established it early.
I wouldn't think you'd be fooled on it much. You know you're going to see it against this fella. That's probably his best pitch.
I think the reason they get fooled by it so much is he has great arm motion with it. You know, you watch him and he releases it from the same spot as his fastball, coming out of his hand to a hitter. A lot of times it has to really fool him, and it has such tumble to it.
There it is again, and that was really a slow curve, and Dalton goes down on strikes. 4th strikeout for Harris.
Yeah, this was almost like a changeup curveball. Took a lot off it from the pitches he'd thrown before, calling what they used to call those big old roundhouses, and that's what that one was.
It was also up high. Hittable. Here's Eisenreich, 1 for 1, single, run batted in. Hitting at .349. Hollins on first, 1 down here in the top of the 4th. Phil's lead, 1-0. Hollins not taking much of a lead. Dave finally did get a stolen base in that Giant series, his first of the year. He doesn't run much. He's a pretty good base runner too, but he doesn't steal many. Missed outside. It's pause for station identification on the Phillies television network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL TV, Philadelphia.
Ball 1 to count to Eisenreich. Hollins safe. Ball 2 on Eisenreich.
Harris, when he first came up, had an overpowering type of fastball to go along with his curveball. He doesn't have that anymore since he's had elbow problems. So now he relies a lot on location and using a good changeup along with the curveball.
He beat the Phillies in Philadelphia in that last home stand. Base hit. That ought to send Hollins to third, which it will. Oh, he fell, but he's getting back up. Dave really tumbled going around second. But he made it to third, and Phillies have runners first and third, 1 down on Eisenreich's second base hit of the game.
Well, luckily for him, they were playing Eisenreich towards left center, and Derek Bell had a long way to go to right center to get that ball. He read that immediately. So when he fell, Bell was still in the process of going to his left to pick that baseball up, and he could get up and go over to third base without having to return or else having to get caught.
Hollins has called time at third. I think he's okay.
Yeah, he's okay. I think he's adjusting his pants or fixing his shoelace down there.
Looked like somebody bulldogging, rounding second. Saw that happen to our old friend Terry Harmon one night in Atlanta, trying to score from third. He fell down, wound up trying to crawl in. Infield back for Morandini. Strike 1.
It looked like that drill that drill they made you do in the Army, where they made you crawl into those fences while all that stuff was blowing up around you. That's what he looked like that night. Crawling on his belly. I think he was out too, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he never reached home plate. Strike 1 on Morandini, who lined out his first time up. Look out. Hit him. Hit him with a pitch. That'll load the bases for Kevin Stocker. He didn't want to do that. He looked like he was going inside.
Yeah, of course, he sure doesn't want to hit him. He just wants to pitch Morandini inside with a fastball and then maybe backdoor breaking ball him, and he winds up hitting him with a pitch.
So Stocker flied out to left field, his first at bat. Kevin hitting at .360 infield at double play depth. Good chance for the Phillies to do some damage here if Stocker can come through.
Ball Stocker hit his last time up would be deep enough to get the runner home from 30 to fly ball to left.
Outside, ball 1.
What the Phillies did so well early in the year and they haven't been doing lately is produce runs when they get runners in scoring position. And that's something that Jim Fregosi talked to them about prior to the game when he held a team meeting, about getting back to just playing situation baseball again and playing hard.
Ball 1 on Stocker. Ball and a strike. Hollins, Eisenreich, and Morandini, the base runners, with 1 away here in the 4th. Phillies lead at 1-0, trying to get some more. Stocker's a key hitter here because of pitcher Danny Jackson coming up next. double play. Whoa! Good play by Harris. He probably could have got a triple play had he needed it.
They would have had one if they needed it. Yep, absolutely.
And that'll retire the side. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left on. Padres batting in the 4th. Phillies lead 1-0.
On Real Stories of the Highway Patrol.
The driver of the pickup truck apparently had a few too much to drink. Alcohol is involved.
Officers investigate a deadly high-speed collision.
The driver's injured, don't know to what extent, and you got both passengers killed.
Plus.
Okay, I found this in your fanny pack, sir. Ooh, fresh stuff.
Cops defeat a lacrosse team in the game of illegal drugs. On Real Stories of the Highway Patrol.
Tonight at 7:30 on PHL 17.
Only your Quality Plus Ford dealer has the #1 selling car in America, the Ford Taurus. For a limited time, drive the Taurus for just $249 a month for 24 months. Loaded with value. $249 per month is a great payment on Taurus. Hurry, it's only available at your #1 selling Quality Plus Ford dealer.
5 of the top 10 sellers, all American built quality. See your Ford dealer today. Get behind the wheel and turn the key.
You got all your bad boys, they fight and they curse. But Mr. Goody Two-Shoes will whip you worse. But Mr. Two-Shoes, he got some new shoes. The ones are red and brown, shoes and all the universe. He might be nice, sweet, good and kind. But he'll put his Converse shoes on and leave tire tracks on your behind.
Nice shoes, KJ. See you later, okay?
Phillies are going to have their annual ALS autograph and auction party at the ballpark Monday, August 2nd, starting at 6 o'clock. Now, you have to order your tickets in advance. No tickets will be sold the night of the event. You can order your tickets by phone, 463-1000, or purchase them in person at the vet. Admission tickets, including 1 autograph ticket, are $10, and there are a limited amount left. That's ALS Autograph and Auction Party, Monday, August 2nd, 6 o'clock at the ballpark. Derek Bell leads it off. Strike 1 on Bell. He popped out his first time up. Bell, Clark, and Plantier to face Danny Jackson here in the 4th. Phillies lead it 1-0. Stocker really got robbed of a base hit in that top of this inning. Ball and a strike on Bell, hitting at 264. You just joined us. Fred McGriff was in the starting lineup, was scratched. 2-1. They said he had a side injury. Took batting practice.
Well, they're close to trading him to Atlanta, and I know, of course, everybody thinks that that's why they took him out of the lineup. Maybe he is hurt.
2-2, the count on Bell.
I think it's more likely that that deal is getting closer and closer, and he don't want to take any chances. There you see Fred McGriff. He wouldn't want to take any chances of him being injured in this game today and blowing that deal.
If it weren't for the honor of the thing of facing him, I think the Phillies would just soon get him out of town. Oh, look at the barrel of that bat. A foul ball. The barrel of that bat helicoptered into the crowd.
Boy, that went a long way, too, because these the dugouts are a distance from the stands here, and the stands are very high. Luckily, there was an empty row that hit. It went over the people, they ducked, and then it hit an empty row and bounced back, so it didn't hurt anybody.
All that Bell had left in his hands was a handle.
Well, Danny Jackson will pitch inside and break some bats.
Ball 2, strike 2 on Bell, leading off the bottom of the 4th for the Padres. Away.
That ball that Stocker hit with the bases loaded last inning was hit so hard that you're right. I mean, if they'd have needed a triple play, they had it, because everybody was off and frozen on that. Right back at the pitcher. Made a terrific play on it. Cost the Phillies 2 runs.
When we were kids, we would have just nailed that bat up again. Struck him out. Good pitch by Danny Jackson, and he gets his 4th strikeout.
Well, Derek Bell is a strikeout machine. He leads the league in strikeouts. That's number 80 on the year for him. He goes down on strikes for the 80th time. Jeff Conine of Florida is second with 78.
Phil Clark, the batter, struck out his first time up. Hitting at 309. Ball 1. Jackson's only allowed 1 hit. It was a double by Tim Tuffle. 2-0 on Clark.
What he's done in 3 consecutive innings, though, is retire the first batter and then walk the second hitter.
Gotten away with it so far. Ball 3. It's odd, almost. He's fallen into this kind of a pattern. Green light. Collins throws a strike to Kruk. That's a little odd too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who is this, Hank Greenberg?
Well, he hit 400 last year for the Tigers.
Yeah, a few games. 2 outs, and Phil Plantier will bat. He drew a walk back in the 2nd inning. 2 outs and nobody on. This guy's swing. Strike 1 on him. Looks like Jackson is trying to work him inside hard.
I would think you'd want to get up and in on him because he's such an uppercutter. And the ball down is the one he can really catch and loft. If you get it up, he's going to pop that ball up or hit a fly ball to the outfield. You don't want to throw this guy down too much.
Well, if he hits that one up, uppercutting, he'll hit it 8 miles.
Yes. But a lot of times they're going to hit it straight up.
A lot of times they'll get it by him.
Right.
2 strikes to count. Got him. Good inning for Danny Jackson as the Padres get out in order. After 4 full, Phil's lead 1-0.
It's been a record-breaking year at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer. So how should we bring it to a close? With a record-breaking clearance. Enjoy a selection of Concords, Automobile Magazine's Automobile of the Year, and remarkable savings on all these 93 cars and minivans. Like roomy Plymouth Voyager. Save thousands. Save up to $1,900 on the sporty Plymouth Duster and up to $1,325 on the luxurious LeBaron convertible. The record-breaking clearance. Now at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
From 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue to right here in Pennsylvania, people are searching for new choices in healthcare.
The costs are strangling me.
Which inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new personal choice.
It seems like you always have to give something up.
A health plan that gives people the benefits of an HMO.
No one has the right to tell me what doctor I can see.
Without asking them to give up their freedom. Personal choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
Where to find the mountain man. A mountain man can often be found on the trail of adventure, in search of remote watering holes, or weathering harsh climates. Most often, however, you'll find the mountain man wherever you find smooth bush beer or easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and find yourself in the wide, open world of the mountain man.
They scored only 1 run in the ballgame. The Phillies got that in the 2nd inning. Darren Dalton doubled into the corner. Tony Gwynn kicked it around. He went to 3rd, and Jim Eisenreich, the next batter, singled in the hole to left. for an RBI for Eisenreich, his 32nd of the year, and that's where we stand. 1-0 here in the 5th.
And Danny Jackson leads it off. Jackson, Dykstra, and Thompson to face Harris. Jackson struck out his first at bat. Missed a little low, ball 1. Phillies a run on 5 hits. Padres no runs on 1 hit. Ball and a strike on Jackson.
Here's Mariano Duncan, who's due to come off the DL on Sunday.
He says he's ready.
Says he's ready. The trainers, Mark Anderson, Jeff Cooper, feel he's ready, and they will. Phillies are carrying 12 pitchers right now, so Jim Fregosi said he will send a pitcher out at that time and activate Duncan.
3-1 to count on Danny Jackson. Think Dunk will go right in the lineup?
No, not necessarily. And with all the right-handers going, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Stocker between now and Sunday.
Full count on Jackson. He'd settle for a walk if he could work one. Not there. Struck him out. 5 strikeouts for Harris. Lenny Dykstra will bat. He is singled and struck out. Hitting at .296 now.
Greg Harris is tied for the league lead in home run balls allowed with 17 of them. A lot of that comes from playing in this ballpark, but probably most of it from the fact that he's made a lot of bad pitches. He's tied with Guzman of Chicago, who's also given up 17. This is a great, great hitter's park, the way the ball carries here and with the low fences.
Throwing Dykstra a lot of curveballs and throwing strikes. Strike 1 on Lenny. Sometimes you can throw too many of those curveballs.
Well, he might even look for one after a while because he's seen so many of them.
Missed with that one. Outside, 1-1.
He started him with curveballs his first 2 times up too, and that's not a pitch that, you know, a hitter necessarily sits on going up there, but you know, you never know with Dykstra. He is really smart.
There it is. Base hit.
Yeah, I don't think he necessarily looked for it there, but I think Harris, as you said, he's throwing so many of them that sooner or later, you know, he's going to judge the speed. He's getting a better feel for the ball tumbling now. He got out front a little bit on it, as you see, but he kept his hands back nicely and just kind of hooked it in the hole.
It's a pretty good curveball.
Yeah.
Milt Thompson, who has twice dribbled the ball on the right side, thrown out both times.
Thompson smothered the ball both times he's been up there. Early in the count.
Keeps pitching him hard stuff inside. Strike 1 on Milt.
Well, I think that's a book on Milt. You know, when he was on the opposition, the Phillies used to pitch him hard stuff in and slow breaking balls. He likes the ball out away from him, and he likes anything hard out away from him.
Missed with a curveball. Dykstra's on first, 1 out. Ball and a strike to Milt Thompson. Phillies have some pretty good hitters coming up here. In fact, the whole lineup. Pretty good bunch of hitters today.
Well, Fergosi's limited right now off his bench. He's playing his left-handed hitters in a starting role today against Harris. He has all right-handed batters on the bench, so he's obviously, as you see him there in the dugout, his feeling on this is with a tough right-handed pitcher, he's trying to get ahead in this game and not have to worry about the bench later on.
Ball and 2 strikes on Thompson. Dykstra back easily. Missed outside with that fastball. Might be set up for the next pitch, huh? Fastball inside.
Yeah, or breaking, or a slow breaking ball, right? I mean, he wants to get Thompson out on either one of those pitches. Fastball away is not the pitch necessarily he wants to get him out on.
Big old curveball, but it missed. Full count to Milt.
Right, that's what he tried to do, is then backdoor him. Now Dykstra will probably run on this pitch. This is a good time for him to run. If it's a breaking ball, it'll be easier to steal the base. If it's a fastball, Thompson can drive it somewhere possibly.
We'll see. Dykstra safe. Missed it. Threw him a curveball and got it high.
And Thompson was running on the play, so they decided to go with a 3-2 breaking ball right there.
First walk given up by Greg Harris.
Dykstra running this play. Now that's an easy pitch to steal on. If Thompson if that had been strike 3 called, the odds are Dykstra would have stolen the base.
Here's Kruk, who has flied to left and grounded out sharply. His second time at bat. He's 0 for 2, hitting at .348. 2 on, 1 out. Top of the 5th inning now. Phillies scored the only run of this game back in the 2nd. Dalton scored it. Eisenreich knocked it in. Missing high with that curve again.
He's not throwing his changeup as much today as in the other 2 starts we saw him. He threw more changeups and fastballs. Today he's really throwing that curveball a lot.
Missed outside. 2-0 to Kruk.
I think the reason he's not throwing his fastball is he doesn't have a very good one. Here comes Rourke out, Mike Rourke, the pitching coach, to talk to Greg Harris. He's missing with his fastball, trying to spot it, and the Phillies have hit some balls hard. There's Martinez, the left-hander, and the former Phil right-hander Tim Mauser warming up.
He hasn't come close to the strike zone on the first 2 pitches to Kruk.
Well, Harris used to be the kind of pitcher, as Jim Riggleman looks out at the Mountain Conference, that would challenge hitters with his fastball. And he had a real good one, a strikeout type of fastball. But since he hurt his elbow a few years ago, he's real short with his fastball.
Jim Riggleman is really a good baseball man. He's been working here under kind of a handicap. They're selling all these players or trading all these players.
Yeah, and he has to act like it doesn't bother him.
Popped it up. That's playable. Gianfranco, whoa! Kind of fell into that fly ball. Kruk chased a bad pitch. Big out.
And this ball comes back on Gianfranco. He goes over to the stands, and then he's not 6'5". He doesn't catch that.
That's 2 outs, and Dave Hollins will bat. Hollins 1 for 2 with a single. Hitting at .279 is Hollins. Dykstra and Thompson, the base runners. 2 good base runners. Ball 1 to Hollins. Hollins has really hurt the Padres in his career. Ball 2. Formerly the property of San Diego.
.280 lifetime hitter against the Padres with 4 homers, 21 runs batted in.
He hasn't hit him much this year. Base hit. comes Lenny Dykstra. Scores easily. Phillies lead it 2-0 on Dave Holland's second hit of the ball game. Just got it in the hole between third and short.
This is the old take what they'll give you. Pitches him away, and he shoots it right through the hole. Now the grass slows it up out there in the outfield. Dykstra running on the pitch with 2 outs, scores easily, standing up, and the Phillies have another run. So they pick up a 2-out run there, where last inning they weren't able to do it.
Here's Dalton, who's 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. Ball 1 to Dutch. Dykstra has 86 runs scored now.
Way out in front as a league leader in that category.
Easy play. Dalton's out, and that'll retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 left on. Padres hitting in the bottom of the 5th. Phillies lead 2-0.
What could 4 minutes cost if your 800 service goes down? If you're big in the travel business, $240,000. But with us, you can stay on course. Introducing the AT&T 800 service Never Miss a Call guarantee. Now, if there's a problem, we can reroute your calls in less than a second. Sign up for the Never Miss a Call guarantee. It's the #1 reason with AT&T 800 service. It's always smooth sailing. AT&T, the best in the business, guaranteed.
Ah, the signs of summer. They're all around us. Now there's a new one, the Oldsmobile Summer of Savings. It means it's the best time of the year to buy a new Olds, like this loaded Cutlass Sierra Special Edition. It was $16,174, now only $13,995. You'll find Oldsmobile Summer of Savings prices just as exciting on every new Olds in stock. Look for the new sign of summer that says it's the best time ever to buy a new Olds.
Do you want your car done right?
If you want your car done right, bring it to a place that puts its money where its mouth is. Bring it to Jiffy Lube, where millions of cars every year are covered by our pledge of satisfaction.
Everybody says they'll do the job right, but at Jiffy Lube, we guarantee it. One more reason Jiffy Lube is America's favorite oil change.
We got experience at Jiffy Lube.
Today's Phillies game on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by Smooth Bush Beer and easy drinking Bush Light. Head for the mountains of Bush. AT&T, because they're not the same as anybody else. There's the I-Plan. And by your local Hyundai dealer. Hyundai, cars that make sense. As the Padres bat here in the 5th, Shinfracco, Guerin, and Harris to face Danny Jackson. Shinfracco flied out to right field in his first at bat, hitting 183.
Marquis Shinfracco got the Expos liked a little bit, but then moved over here after Sheffield was traded to Florida, and now Shinfracco is the everyday third baseman. He's a dangerous hitter because he has power, but so far he's not a good hitter.
Ball 2 on Shinfracco. 2-0 lead, Phillies, bottom of the 5th. Ball 3. Looks like Danny is going to try to walk a batter every inning. He didn't walk any in the 4th, but first 3 innings he walked 1 in each inning.
He has yet to walk the leadoff man, and that's what he's working on with Shinfracco right now.
4 pitches. You don't want to walk guys hitting 183.
Especially at the bottom of the lineup.
4th walk for Jackson. Guerin, catcher, will bat. He struck out his first time up.
Bullpen was up in the 5th inning, the top of the inning, but nobody is up right now for San Diego, and it looks like Harris, yep, he's in the on-deck circle.
Gianfranco, not much of a threat to run. Guerin is 0 for 1. Strike called. Guerin didn't like it. He's hitting only .217, but he has hit the Phillies pretty hard.
He's 3 for 4 of Terry Mulholland this year with a home run. He has 2 homers on the year.
Well, Thompson took one away from him here in this ballpark. It would have been a grand slammer. Long run. Eisenreich makes the play.
Eisenreich really covers a lot of ground. And he's playing Guerin as a pull header in right center field. That ball was high in the air, but it's still going to be a tough play for Morandini. And he made that easily. And the Phillies last year had so many balls drop in the outfield just like that, where they were hurt in innings.
Greg Harris, the batter, grounded out his first time up. Might be up there to bunt.
Well, the Phillies will look for one. You would think they would try and bunt here. Down by 2 runs.
Gianfranco on first, 1 down. Tried to bunt it, fouled it off. Strike 1 on Harris. Gianfranco. Fouled, strike 2 on Harris.
Not a very good effort by Harris, who has his bat back in foul territory. It looks like he's just kind of stabbing at the ball. He has sacrificed successfully 3 times so far this year.
Wasn't going to take any chances letting it roll. Made the play. The sacrifice for Harris as Gianfranco winds up at second with 2 away.
Kirk really wanted to let that ball go, as Whitey said, though, but it was a hard one to judge. It had a chance that it was bunted so hard that it might have just stayed fair all the way down the line. There was no sense in messing around with it, so he just decided to catch it. See it right there, how hard it's bunted. It just didn't seem to have a lot of spin on it that was going to take it foul. So he makes a play on Harris.
Two outs, runner on second. Fouled off, strike 1.
This Gutierrez is an opposite field hitter. And the Phillies are playing him that way. They have him played almost like he's a left-handed pull hitter with Dykstra way over in right center and Eisenreich over near the line and right. There you see the defense, and you can see how late he is on these pitches.
Yeah, he's behind on his swings. Strike 1 on Gutierrez. Strike 2.
He's the kind of guy, I don't think you want to throw him a lot of off-speed stuff because you'll just speed his bat up and mess up the defense.
He's helped the Padres. Hitting at .269.
Big spread stance. He doesn't stride into the ball much.
He's struck out and walked so far. Just missed. 1-2 the count. I think that good hard pitch inside would be a nice pitch now. Phillies lead it 2-0. We're in the bottom of the 5th. San Diego with a runner at second, 2 outs. Struck him out, chased a bad pitch, and that'll retire the side. 6th strikeout for Jackson. No runs, no hits, 1 left on. After 5 full innings, Phillies lead the Padres 2-0.
Mountain man survival skills. The basics. A true mountain man must have a keen sense of direction, a certain physical dexterity,
and a talent for surviving the most unforgiving climates. Of course, nothing is more key to a mountain man's survival than plenty of smooth bush beer and easy drinking bush life. So, head for the mountains and learn how the mountain man survives even the most grueling conditions.
I remember last year, honey, when we were moving.
Right.
Well, she called us and said if we put both our new house and car policies with her, we would save money.
Well, we have so many choices at Nationwide, and my job is to make you aware of your options.
She's always there with an answer.
That's the way we're trained, to be very knowledgeable and to be there when people really need you the most. And that's important.
Agents like Margaret are Nationwide.
Nationwide is on your side.
This Lexus LS 400 is about to shift from first to second to third and to fourth. We thought we'd take the opportunity to point this out. It would be so difficult for you to tell on your own.
Time to see how these pitchers are doing after 5. You see, Greg Harris has given up 7 hits. He's walked 1, struck out 5, with the Phillies just 2 runs off him. Danny Jackson pitching well with just 1 hit, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts.
Eisenreich tries to bunt one, fouls it off. He is 2 for 2 in the game, 2 singles and a run batted in. He's now hitting at .353. Eisenreich, Morandini, and Stocker to face Harris. Ball and a strike on Eisenreich.
Teams are getting to playing Eisenreich more around the other way because he waits so long on the ball. And he hits a lot of balls to the left and left center because of that.
Oh, wow. What a save by Harris. Oh, did he get nailed. And Eisenreich got robbed. Oh, man.
But Harris has been in the way of 2 of them today. The bullet that Stocker hit that he turned into a double play, caught that one. This one he took off his leg. And it dropped right down where he could find it and throw Eisenreich out.
When you see a ball hit a pitcher and it drops right down, that means he has been hit hard, solidly.
Looked like it was pointing that it got him on the inside of the thigh, which if it did, it's not a bad place to get hit.
I bet he has to leave the game now. Watch this. He had no chance.
Yep, that's where it got him too, on the inside of the left thigh.
Kept his presence of mind though and looked for the ball, found it, and threw Eisenreich out easily. He looks like he's going to stay in the game. It hit him on the meat. It didn't hit him on any bones, which helps him. He really took a shot there.
Well, a dandy of a bruise, but that'll be about it.
Be a good time to get a payback here, Wheels, for Mrs. Wildonger's grandchildren. Who did not evidently miss wishing Mrs. Wildonger's grandchildren a birthday a few days ago.
But did you get a letter reminding you of that?
Yes, it wasn't. I think it was probably the fault of the, well, we won't mention whose fault it was. Morandini grounds it foul.
I'll tell you what, you better not blame the girls in community relations for that.
No, there's no way.
Because they'll be on you.
I think it was your fault.
Oh, cool. Well, that's easy to do. Why not? Somehow.
It's a strike on Morandini, who was hit by a pitch, and he was robbed of a base hit when he lined out.
It's nice that you're doing make-goods on birthdays.
I don't want Mrs. Wildonger mad at me. A ball and a strike on Morandini. or as Harry Carey says, Mickey Morandino. 2-1 the count. Phillies lead it 2-0 here in the top of the 6th. Good cut, fouled it back. Count evens up at 2-2. Mike Morandini has a big gap in right center field.
Yeah, they of course overshift Morandini also, as you see there. Maybe not as much though as they do Kruk and some other hitters.
Fouled out of play. Nice catch by a fan on the rebound.
These teams saw a lot of each other in the series at Veterans Stadium just last weekend, so you know they have a good idea on how to defense hitters.
Rip foul. Morandini really chokes on that bat. He hits the ball a long way, though.
It's back to using that thick handle bat again, too. I don't know whether he ran out of yours or not, but that's a bat he was using a lot last year. It has a much thicker handle.
So U1. Oh, there goes the U1. It's more like the U2 to me. Struck him out.
Harris made a pretty good pitch on him on a fastball away, and whether he was looking location or breaking ball or whatever, it looked like at the last second he just tried to foul the ball off and missed it.
The play was robbed of a base hit and a couple of RBIs his last time up. Kevin is hitting at 346.
Kevin also hits off the end of the bat. He didn't choke up as much as Morandini, but he chokes up for bat control. He's a natural right-handed hitter.
Tries to bunt it, fouls it off.
Good idea. See, he's a thinking player. Everything about Stocker you have to like. 2 outs, nobody on base, pitcher on deck. Try and get on base and get the pitcher out of the way and turn your lineup over. And that's a proper thought process for an 8-hole hitter.
Fair foul, foul ball. Off the end of the bat. That's strike 2 on Stocker. Phillies 2 runs on 7 hits. Padres no runs on 1 hit. And hit by Tim Tuffle. Double. Strike, 7 strikeouts for Harris as the Phillies go down in order. Padres batting in the 6th. Phils lead it 2-0.
Only your Quality Plus Ford dealer has the #1 selling small car, the Ford Escort. Reliable and loaded with extras. Drive the Escort for just $199 per month for 24 months. Choose from 4 models, all at one low price. $199 per month. Only at your #1 selling Quality Plus Ford dealer.
5 of the top 10 sellers, all American built quality. See your Ford dealer today. Get behind the wheel and turn the key.
Are you saying that I killed my wife?
I didn't kill my wife! Put that gun down! Turn around!
On August 6th, the chase begins. Harrison Ford is The Fugitive, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, August 6th at a theater near you.
It's often taken for granted, yet it's as precious as the very air we breathe. It's called freedom. And it's what inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new Personal Choice, a health plan that offers people the low costs of an HMO without asking them to give up what they value most, their freedom. Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
Today's Phillies game on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide Insurance agent in Langhorne is Dwight Webster. Bell Atlantic Mobile, advanced technology and people who make it mean something. And by your local Quality Plus Ford dealer, where you'll find 5 of the top 10 best-selling vehicles in America. Padres batting the 6th. Tuffle, Gwynn, and Bell to face Danny Jackson. Tuffle has walked and picked up the only hit off Danny Jackson, a 3rd inning double. First pitch misses, ball 1 to Tuffle. He's hitting at 250 right on the nose. Saying that Tuffle might leave the Padres also.
Well, they have a second baseman at AAA Las Vegas that they really like. An excellent player, evidently. Reading about him in the paper this morning. So that could be the reason. I mean, if they bring him up here and let him play, then they'll move Tuffle too.
2-0 pitch. All 3.
Danny Jackson's been flirting with trouble all day with his control. Even though he struck out 6, he's walked 4 and run some deep counts, but so far the Padres haven't hurt him.
Tuffle will look at a pitch. Ooh, what was that? Ball 4. The 5th walk given up by Danny Jackson, and Tuffle's the leadoff base runner. For Tony Gwynn, who was flied out to center and grounded out to Kruk. 0 for 2. Hitting at 329. You just have trouble holding this guy down.
Yeah, he was hot before the All-Star break, too. He had problems with a calf, and that slowed him up for a while, but he was swinging the bat real well at the break.
Ball 1. Dalton wants to talk to Danny Jackson. It's 5 in a row out of the strike zone. When Dalton talks to his pitchers, he's not just passing the time of day.
5 walks for Danny Jackson this afternoon, a season high.
Hard to believe that none of those walks have hurt him yet. Good pitch, ball and a strike to Gwynn. Infield at double play depth. I knew they weren't going to get him out all day. Base hit for Gwynn, and San Diego has their first 2 runners on here in the 6th. For Derek Bell.
Tony Gwynn's an opposite field hitter. He has been his whole career. He loves the ball out over the plate, and he hits a line drive to left center field.
Bell has popped out and struck out. 0 for 2, hitting 263. Infield hoping for a double play ball. Foul ball. Whoa. Just foul. Strike 1 on Bell.
Well, Jackson came inside to Derek Bell, and he didn't get it far enough inside, and he almost gets an extra base hit. Bell is not the kind of guy who's going to ground into a lot of double plays because he's a fly ball hitter and he strikes out so much. He has grounded into just 2 this year.
Missed outside, 1-1 the count. So Jackson in a little 6th inning trouble here. Padres have the tying runs on base, nobody out.
The first time in the ballgame the Padres have had 2 men on.
Missed again. 2-1 to count. It's a big hitter for Danny Jackson.
Phil Clark, the on-deck batter, another right-handed hitter.
And the Phillies bullpen is starting to stir.
Roger Mason's getting up. Former Padre.
Foul ball, right side, out of play. Eisenreich couldn't catch up to it down there in the Phillies bullpen. I believe Bell went after ball 4. Might have been a high pitch.
Well, when you strike out 80 times already, you know you're going to chase a lot of bad balls, and he's not the type of hitter you necessarily start runners with a 3-2 count.
Full count on Derek Bell. Runners hold, fouled back.
Well, it made no sense for a manager to start runners here. I mean, this guy doesn't ground into double plays, and he strikes out a lot.
Jackson gets his sign from Dalton. Ooh. Fouled that one back to the screen. Getting some pretty good cuts. Double play. There's one. Double play. Whoa, what a big one.
Really. For a guy, we rolled out those stats on him. He just doesn't hit into double plays, Derek Bell. There's only 3rd double plays grounded into all year. Stocker starting it. Morandini with a good pivot. Easy double play ball.
Morandini was under some pressure.
First baseman, Phil Clark.
Phil Clark will bat with a runner on 3rd. 2 outs now. Clark is struck out, grounded out. Oh, whoa, that's going to tie it up. 2-run home run, Phil Clark. We're tied at 2-2. Jumped on the first pitch. Like Jackson had maybe gotten out of the inning, and boom, one swing of the bat. Home run for Clark.
And he just makes a bad pitch. I mean, after working Bell that way and almost getting out of the inning, first ball fastball looked like it was a little bit down and in, and he just golfed it out of here. Yep, down and in.
Inside part of the plate.
That's a home run ball if you get that bat head down on it. Clark did.
Plantier takes a strike, has walked and struck out. Brand new ball game. We're tied at 2-2. Only the 3rd Padres hit that home run. Foul. 2 strikes on Plantier. Phillies have been a little frustrated in this game. They've had some chances to bust it open. Count holds at 2 strikes. Plantier hitting at .246. No doubt about the ball hit by Clark. It was way out of here. Fouled again.
Mason's due to lead off for the Phillies in the 7th inning, and Mason continues to throw. Top of the 7th.
Hanging tough is planned here. Still 2 strikes. Inside, foul ball. He gets these rips. Got him there. Dalton throws the first. That's the 3rd out. With 2 runs on 2 hits. Nobody left. Harry Callis comes back in the 7th inning. After 6 full, we're tied 2-2.
It was for immigrants and their children and their dreams. It was for families. For new beginnings. And today, there's still just one reason why we always do our best. It's for you. Mellon PSFS.
What is a mountain man's natural environment? Let's explore. A mountain man enjoys peaceful surroundings. A place where gentle winds blow. And the beauty of nature is all about. Only here does the mountain man find true happiness with a smooth bush beer or an easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and find out how the true mountain man can make any environment a more natural one.
It's been a record-breaking year at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer. So how should we bring it to a close? With a record-breaking clearance. Enjoy a selection of Concords, Automobile Magazine's Automobile of the Year, and remarkable savings on all these 93 cars and minivans. Choose Plymouth Voyager or Grand Voyager. Get options like leather seating, anti-lock brakes, and child seat. And save thousands. The record-breaking clearance. Now at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Loosen your tie, take off your coat, roll up your sleeves. It's a business person special, Thursday, July 29th at 12:35. Compliments of Mellon PSFS. Go ahead. You deserve a break. Call 463-1000.
After 6 innings of play, it's the Phillies 2 and the Padres 2. Tonight at 8, an ex-con and his brother try to reunite their band. John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd star in the classic The Blues Brothers, only on Philadelphia's movie station, PHL 17. Danny Jackson, the batter, and Harry Callis back.
All right, thanks, Wheels. Danny batting for himself. He has struck out both times that he's been up. We're in a 2-2 ball game. 1 ball and 1 strike to Danny Jackson. Missing wide, it's 2-1. Balls and 2 strikes. Greg Harris has a lot of strikeouts, 7 of them. Just 1 walk and a hit batsman. 8 strikeouts now for Harris. His career high is 11 back in 1988 against Houston. The official 1993 Phillies gift and souvenir catalog, courtesy of Kellogg's, is now available. The catalog features all your favorite Phillies items, including jackets, jerseys, T-shirts, caps, and much more. Get the catalog free by calling the Phils at 463-1000 and ask for a Phillies souvenir and gift catalog. Lenny Dykstra, the batter, he has singled, struck out and singled, scored another run, boosting his league-leading season total to 86. outside corner for a strike. We'll pause for station identification on the Phillies television network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL TV, Philadelphia.
Padres have made a change in left field. Billy Beane is out there now. Replacing Phil Plantier. There's Beane. Dykstra quickly down. No balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball. Tuffle has to charge it. Makes a good play. This infield is not, but just watching infield practice today, this infield has some bad hops in it. And Tuffle, it was not an easy play. It looked routine, but it really wasn't. Ball jumped up on him a little bit. He stayed with it.
Yeah, it looks like it's a little choppy. Stocker had a play like that earlier on a ball that was almost handcuffed him. You see it right there. He's got to take it on the run, and it did jump a little.
Jumped up on him a little bit. 2 down. It'll bring on Milt Thompson. Curveball missing a little bit high. Milt's twice grounded out and walked. Curveball got that one over. 1 ball and 1 strike. Changeup. Fooled him.
Yeah, he hasn't thrown that pitch much today, and Harris has come up with a good changeup, but the curveball's been his best pitch.
He always has had a good deuce. Line drive into right field. Gwynn there, though, and that'll retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. Stretch time at Jack Murphy. We go to the bottom of the 7th, tied at
2. Belushi's back-to-back on PHL 17. Tonight, Jake and Elwood are on a mission.
We're on a mission from God.
They're the Blues Brothers. Friday, Belushi's back, and this time he's an animal.
That boy is a P.I.G. pig.
Higher education is his lowest priority. National Lampoon's Animal House.
Toga! Toga!
Get back-to-back Belushi, beginning tonight at 8 on PHL 17.
Our values are changing these days. People are reconsidering what to do with their money. And while just about everyone else is trying to sell you a $15,000 automobile with some interesting standard features, we'd like you to consider an automobile from under $7,000 with some interesting options on what to do with the rest of your money. The Excel from Hyundai. Cars that make sense.
Prepare to come face-to-face with a 32-foot killer shark, Jaws, as PHL 17 and the New Jersey State Aquarium sends you to Universal Studios, Florida. Watch for your chance to call in and win a Jaws prize pack and qualify to win the grand prize trip. Winners fly U.S. Air, the official airline of Universal Studios, Florida, and stay at the Twin Towers Hotel. Watch Jaws: The Revenge, July 22nd on PHL 17, when we'll announce the grand prize winner who'll experience Jaws. Coming soon to Universal Studios, Florida, from the New Jersey State Aquarium and PHL 17.
I'm Dick Vermeil. Antioxidant nutrients fight cancer-causing cell damage. Can you name the best source of these nutrients? Vitamin C and E and beta-carotene. You can get an adequate supply of these nutrients by eating more fruits, vegetables, and whole grain foods.
Well, here's your game summary and line score. You see the line score, a 2-2 ball game. Phil Clark's 2-out, 2-run homer tied the game last inning in the 6th. Greg Harris has pitched well, so has Danny Jackson.
Marquis Franco leads it off for the Padres here in the 7th. He has flied out and walked, and he beats a ground ball foul third base side. 1 strike to Franco.
Excuse me, our Phillies are guarding the line now here in the 7th inning in a tie game. They have Hollins over at third, Kruk at first, and the Padres are warming Mark Davis up, who is now with them after Phillies released him a few weeks ago. There's Hollins over near the line at third.
Padres only had 1 left-hander until they picked up Mark Davis. Through Kruk. And Franco is a leadoff base runner. That was hit right at Kruk, but it took a funny bounce.
hit right off the end of the bat with all that spin. It looked like they're going to get a break, the Phillies, because they had Kruk over on the line. Just said that he was over there. And the ball hit, and look at the spin on it, and it takes a crazy hop and kicks right past him.
Gonna score it in there, I guess.
Yeah, they just scored it.
Here on Kruk, so Sin Franco at first. Brings on Bob Guerin. He is struck out and flied out to right. Runner breaking. Jackson only one play on the ground ball right back at him. Gets the out at first, and Franco moves up to second.
They're playing a little hit and run there. And the ball right back to Jackson with no play. And now the Padres are going to lift Harris for a pinch hitter.
Craig Shipley will come out. Shipley hitting at .223 as a pinch hitter. He's 4 for 16.
Number 18, Craig Shipley.
Well, he's got bullpen activity. David West and Larry Anderson are up. Mark Davis will be the new pitcher for the Padres. Craig Shipley coming on to bat for Harris. Sin Franco at second base and one out. 2-2 ball game here in the bottom of the seventh. Good catch by Dalton of a low pitch. One ball and no strikes. Down the right field foul line. It's a foul ball, and Eisenreich can't catch up to it in the Phillies bullpen area. One ball and one strike.
I think the mound got in his way a little bit over there, too. He's so good at those balls that he catches in foul territory.
Yeah, he is.
Right there. See the mound? I think the mound really bothered him on his last step, and he had to step over it, and it got him a little out of whack, and when he looked for the ball, it wasn't there. If the mound's not there, he might catch that ball.
Really? Ball on a strike to the pinch hitter Shipley. Good catch by Dalton. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fouled it back 2-2.
Jackson's ratio right now, 61 strikes, 39 balls. He's gotten some strikeouts, but it's been wild, and one walk finally hurt him.
It's equal to his season high in strikeouts, 7. Missing inside, full count.
And in walks, 5.
Three and 2 to Shipley. Low, and he has walked 6 now. Puts 2 men on base with 1 out. For Ricky Gutierrez. Jim Fregosi is going to stay with him here.
Well, he's handled Gutierrez twice today on strikes and walked him the other time.
2-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 7th. Padres with 2 men on base and 1 out. Missing with that one. One ball and no strikes. Side almost hit him. 2-0. Fregosi, John Vukovic, Johnny Padres. Phillies dugout. The Phillies mound down in the bullpen area. 2 balls and 1 strike.
That's Gutierrez. I mean, even when he's ahead in the count the way he just was off a left-hander, he's still looking to hit the ball the other way, especially with anything hard. And that was a fastball away. Eisenreich has to play him over near the line, and Dykstra has to shift him right center, even though he's ahead in the count.
2 balls and a strike to Ricky Gutierrez. Just missed. 3 balls and a strike. Bases, and I'm sure that will be all for Danny Jackson here. They are loaded with 1 out. 7th walk given up by Jackson.
An error and 2 walks in this inning. The bases are loaded. He's going to go to the right-hander, Larry Anderson. I wonder if McGriff can pinch hit. May find out.
Yeah. Good pitching change for the Phils. We're in the 7th. We're tied at 2 back after these messages.
From 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue to right here in Pennsylvania, people are searching for new choices in healthcare.
The costs are strangling me.
Which inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new personal choice.
It seems like you always have to give something up.
A health plan that gives people the benefits of an HMO.
No one has the right to tell me what doctor I can see.
Without asking them to give up their freedom. Personal choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
If you've got a group of 25 or more, we'll give you a great time at a Phillies game. For all the details about a special package for your group at a Phillies game, call 463-5000.
Larry Anderson, the Phillies' new pitcher. This will be his 33rd outing. He's won 3, lost 1, no saves, a 1.74 ERA. 31 innings he's pitched, 25 hits, 6 earned runs, has struck out 31 while walking 12.
He'll be making his 7th appearance this year against the San Diego Padres, and he has not given up an earned run in those 7 appearances.
Padres are going to counter with a left-hand swinging Jeff Gardner. Gardner will stay in the game and play second base. He'll bat for Tim Tuffle. Gardner hitting at 261. as a pinch hitter, 2 out of 9. Bases loaded with Padres with 1 out here in the 7th.
Gardner's had 1 at bat off Anderson this year, and he is 0 for 1.
Now, Danny Jackson had good stuff today. He equaled his season high in strikeouts with 7, but he also was a little wild. He walked 7. In this inning, an error and 2 walks have the bases loaded with Padres. With 1 out for Gardner. Phillies are going to play their infield, a double play up. Here's Gardner with the bases loaded, 1 out. Just missed for a ball, 1-0. Kruk's going to come home. Gets the force there. Good play by Kruk. He knew he wasn't going to get a double play. He comes home and gets the force at home. 4 out, number 2 in the inning. Bases still loaded as Gardner hits into a fielder's choice, and Tony Gwynn will be the batter. So it's Tony Gwynn with the bases loaded and 2 outs. In the outside corner for a strike. 2-2 ball game here in the 7th. To Tony Gwynn. Beats a foul. Anderson in front of him. A ball and 2 strikes.
See Fred McGriff in that dugout. Maybe he's back getting treatment or traded.
Well, he's not in the batter's box. Just missed a little bit wide. It's 2-2. Although this is a pretty fair country hitter himself.
I was thinking that this is a lot of trouble right here also.
Count now to Tony Gwynn. Everybody will be moving. Shipley from third, Gutierrez from second, Gardner from first with 2 outs. Big pitch here for Larry Anderson.
Anderson doesn't like to throw many fastballs either.
Beats a foul. That wasn't a fastball. That was a slider.
3-2 slider. Yeah, that's. I mean, that's a perfect example of what you live by, you die by. I mean, he throws almost 99% breaking balls, and he threw a 3-2 breaking ball with the bases loaded.
Three and 2 to Tony Gwynn. Bouncing ball, top to Kruk. Anderson has to hurry. Not in time, and 2 runs score. Kruk had a little trouble getting it out of his glove. 2 runs score. It'll be an infield single, and it's now 4-2 San Diego.
That poor defense in this inning by the Phillies, and in particular John Kruk, who's usually very good over there. He doesn't get it out right away, and that gets Anderson off.
Boy, that was
the timing
close.
off. The timing off, and they say he doesn't touch the bag, but Anderson didn't argue. See, the timing's off on the play once he bobbles it, and now he has to reach back, and he's off the bag. overseas.
Score that a hit? Guess they did.
Yeah.
That will go as a single and 2 runs batted in, and the batter is Derek Bell. Yeah, Anderson was certainly there, but that momentary juggle by Kruk got Anderson through the bag before he got the ball.
Plays all timing, especially on that kind of a play. And Gwynn doesn't run that well. So the sad part about that for the Phillies is you see Kruk, who's made 2 bad plays in this inning, is that they had more time than they thought they had then. Because Gwynn just doesn't get out of the box and run much anymore.
But the Padres have taken a 4-2 lead on just 4 hits in the ball game.
Well, they don't have a hit in this inning. Except for, I mean, that's a hit there. You don't even think of that as a hit. They haven't hit a ball out of the infield, and they have 2 runs.
That conceivably could have been scored in there, really. With Tony Gwynn hitting, they're going to score it a hit, but you could have called that an error also. Blocked by Dalton. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Loops a foul out of play. Still 2-2. 2 runs across here in the 7th inning on just 1 hit, along with a couple of walks and an error. 2 men on base and 2 outs. Pop up down the first base foul line. Morandini and Eisenreich makes the grab and foul ground to retire the side. The Padres score 2 in the inning, and after 7, San Diego leads it 4-2.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and me. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Beer.
Ah, the signs of summer. They're all around us. Now there's a new one, the Oldsmobile Summer of Savings. It means it's the best time of the year to buy a new Olds, like this loaded Cutlass Supreme Special Edition. It was $18,663. Now it's $15,995. And this loaded 88 Royale Special Edition, it was $21,971. Now only $18,995. Look for the new sign of summer that says it's the best time ever to buy a new Olds.
And now for something different.
Domino's new thin crust pizza.
It's really something.
A crispy, crackly, crunchy crust pizza. It's a whole nother taste in a whole nother way.
Now that's something.
Try it now and you'll also get
something for nothing when you call Domino's.
Right now, you can buy 2 delicious medium thin crust pizzas for only $8.99. That's right, 2 for $8.99. But it's for a limited time. Domino's delivers. Call today.
Today's Phillies game on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by Sherwin-Williams Russ Tough. The tough out of the game is brought to you by Russ Tough from Krylon. By the Pennsylvania Lottery. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. And by Bell Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company. Jeff Gardner stays in the game to play second base after pinch hitting for Tim Tuffle. Mark Davis will be the new pitcher, the ex-Phil, facing his former mates after being released by the Phils and picked up by the Padres. This will be his 27th game. His overall record is 1-2 with a 5.03 ERA. His second game since joining the Padres, and John Kruk the first one to face him. Had him flinching on a good curveball, 1 strike. Kruk is fly to left, grounded out, and fouled to third base. Ground ball to the second baseman, Gardner. Throws Kruk out. That'll bring on Dave Hollins. Hollins 2 out of 3 with a run batted in. One down here in the 8th. Phillies trail by 2, 4-2. Fastball by Mark Davis. No balls and a strike. He bunts the ball. Davis out in a hurry and throws him out. A nice play by Mark Davis. Got a little too close to the mound, but Davis had to scurry to make that play, and he made it nicely.
Left-handed pitcher like Davis falls off to that side, so he's already on his way over there. As Harry said, he got it too close. As Hollins is trying to bunt his way on, and Mark Davis makes a good play and throws him out for the second out.
Bring on Darren Dalton, who has doubled and scored a run, struck out and grounded out. One and nothing. Two balls and no strikes. Davis back on the team where he enjoyed his greatest success in San Diego. 89, he won 4, saved 44 at a 1.85 ERA. 2 balls and a strike to Darren Dalton.
He's now been with San Diego twice and the Phillies twice.
Yep. Line drive, it's foul ball. Just foul down that right field line.
Sounds like he might have broken his bat. He's a perfect addition for the Phillies, or for the Padres too, Mark Davis, because most of his contract's being paid by somebody else. And that's what the Padres are into right now, austerity.
Yeah, and they only had one left-hander before picking Mark up.
Well, that's the way the Phillies looked at it, too, when they picked him up. You know, they wanted to add another left-hander, and it just didn't work out.
Struck him out. A 1-2-3 inning for Mark Davis. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Padres lead it by a score of 4-2.
The new Lexus GS is equipped with a vehicle speed-sensitive steering system so responsive that it actually improves your feel for the road. Now, the only thing more exhilarating than watching the Lexus GS is driving it. The new GS.
Upon completing the rear axle assembly, diagrams have using a 9-inch gripping wrench tighten the C diagrams have secured the frame extenders to the housing mount. Congratulations, you built a tricycle. While the simplest things can be made complex, the challenge is making the complex simple. But that's what we do at Bell Atlantic Mobile, with straight answers, clear explanations, and with no assembly required. Bell Atlantic Mobile, advanced technology and people who make it mean something.
Roy Rogers' new family buckets are perfect for busy parents. Pick up a bucket of Roy's incredible fried chicken, a bucket of juicy roast chicken, or a bucket with both. Now just $7.99 each. Plus, every bucket is capped with a free flying disc. It'll keep your kids entertained for hours. Okay, minutes.
One of the kind, Roy Rogers.
When the Phillies get off this trip, the St. Louis Cardinals will be the first team to visit the Bet, July 27th and 28th at 7:35. Then the Runnin' Redbirds, a BP special on the 29th at 12:35. They'll be followed in by Jim Leland's Pirates Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, July 30th to 31st, and Sunday, August 1st. That'll be the nostalgia game as we turn back the clocks to 1933. Plan to be on hand. For tickets, call 463-1000 or stop by your local Ticketmaster location.
Leading off the Padres, first baseman, number 3.
Bill Clark leads it off. Clark, 1 for 3. It was a big one, a 2-run homer in the 6th that tied the game. Larry Anderson, who came in the 7th inning, working here in the 8th. With San Diego leading at 4-2. Missing with a slider, 1-0 to Clark. On the inside corner, 1-1. Mike Williams is starting to throw in the Phillies bullpen now.
Notice the Padres don't have anybody up. Maybe they're going to let Mark Davis finish, or try to finish.
With the left-hand hitting lineup of the Phils, probably so. John Kruk makes the play himself. Park is out.
Phillies, all the hitters they can bring off the bench are all right-handed. There's Mike Williams warming up.
Billy Beane batting for the first time. He's hitting at .239. Padres lead at 4-2 here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Jerks a foul.
He got out front a little.
Yeah, just a tad.
Hit the upper deck.
One strike to Billy Beane. Hitting 1-1. Well hit to deep right. This ball is out of here. Home run, Billy Beane. For Beane, his first home run of the year, and it's now a 5-2 San Diego lead.
Billy Beane got around those bases as if it was his first home run of the year. I mean, he just flew around. He doesn't know how to run them out. Looked like Larry Anderson got down and into him. This is the same way. Yep, that was the same way that Jackson got hurt earlier. A down and in slider to a left-handed batter, and they love him down there.
For Billy Beane, that is his first major league home run. Was up briefly with Detroit in 87, 88, and 89. One ball and one strike to Archie Sinfraco. 1-2. 5-2 ball game. San Diego leading here in the 8th. Padres now are getting a right-hander up in the bullpen, Gene Harris.
There's Harris.
Fouls it back, still 2-2 to Archie Sinfraco. Sinfranco has flied to right, walked, and been safe on an error. This is a ground ball to Morandini. Sinfranco is retired. That's 2 outs. And we'll bring up Bob Guerin. Guerin, the catcher, has struck out, flying out, and grounded back to the mound. Padres have made the most of their hits. 5 runs, 5 hits. Phillies have 2 runs, 7 hits. Padres have hit a couple of homers, Phil Clark and Billy Beane. One strike to Guerin. Check down the slider. 1-1. Ball on the strike to Guerin. Missing wide with a slider. Game of Candlestick is over. The Giants have beaten the Mets 8-1 behind Bill Swift. Matt Williams off the disabled list with a home run. Missed again with a slider. 3-1. Towards shortstop. Kevin Stocker drifting back, fighting the sun, makes the grab. That'll retire the side. Padres get a run on the homer by Billy Beane. 1 hit, no errors, and none left. We go to the 9th inning. San Diego 5, Phillies 2.
You've seen it before. The ones who run with the herd, and the one who always seems to run alone. Don't see him often enough, though.
Head for the mountains of
The Phillies try to feast on the East when they shuffle the cards Tuesday, July 27th and Wednesday, July 28th at 7:35. And Thursday, July 29th, 12:35 for a business person special. Then the Pirates walk the plank Friday, July 30th at 7:35. Saturday, July 31st at 7:05. And Nostalgia Day, Sunday, August 1st at 1:35 when everyone gets a free poster. Call 463-1000.
It's been a record-breaking year at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer. So how should we bring it to a close? With a record-breaking clearance. Enjoy a selection of Concords, Automobile Magazine's Automobile of the Year, and remarkable savings on all these 93 cars and minivans. Get the value-packed Plymouth Sundance, air, automatic, and standard driver's airbag, all for around 10 grand. The record-breaking clearance. Now at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
After 8 innings of play, San Diego 5 and the Phils 2. Tonight at 7:30, it's Real Action, Real Danger, and Real Criminals on Real Stories of the Highway Patrol right here on PHL 17. Pete Incaviglia is going to come in as a pinch hitter to bat for Jim Eisenreich to lead off the Phillies' ninth. Incaviglia hitting at .259 as a pinch hitter. He's 4 for 11. But in the throes of a slump has been Pete Incaviglia. Nothing for his last 20. Facing ex-mate Mark Davis here in the 9th inning. Eisenreich leading the game 2 for 3 with a run batted in. Could have been 3 for 3. Hit a shot right back at pitcher G.W. Harris. Hit off him and dropped right down below him. He threw him out. 1-1 to Incaviglia.
Big play of the game really for the Padres was with the bases loaded early on when Stocker hit that line smash and Harris picked it. Double play, and the Phillies, instead of getting 2 runs, got nothing.
Yeah. Incaviglia line drive to center, but caught by Bell. Put well by Incaviglia, but caught by Derek Bell. That'll bring up Mickey Morandini. Morandini's lined up and hit by a pitch ball and struck out.
Second baseman Mickey Morandini.
One out and no base runners here in the 9th inning. No strikes to Mickey Morandini. That one's over for a strike. 1-1. Fly ball into left center field. Billy Beane is there. Makes the grab. That's 2 down. And it's up to Kevin Stocker to keep the game alive. Ricky Jordan has moved into the on-deck circle. Stocker is nothing out of 3. Is fly to left, lined into that double play on a good catch by Greg Harris, and he is struck out. As a right-hand hitter, he's 5 for 10 this year. Since joining the Phils from Scranton Wilkes-Barre. One ball and no strikes. Nothing to Kevin Stocker. Just caught the outside corner. 2-1. It's 3-1. Walked him. So Stocker's aboard with a walk. It'll bring on Ricky Jordan.
Kevin Stocker, everything he does, you have to just like. I mean, in that situation, he's just trying to get on base. He's patient. He walks, and he keeps the inning alive. For a young player, he does a lot of things that are very mature.
Jordan batting at .319. 4 homers. He's knocked in 9 as a pinch hitter. He's 9 for 29. With his curveball, 1 ball and no strikes.
An home run by Billy Beane has kept Mark Davis in this ballgame. You see the 2 right-handers out there. If Jordan would represent the tying run, he would not be in this ballgame with Mark Davis.
One and one.
And now he would stay in the game to represent the tying run, probably because the tying run's a left-handed batter, Lenny Dykstra.
Base hit to right center field. Stocker will go to third, and the Phillies have runners at first and third with 2 outs. A pinch single by Ricky Jordan. And it will bring on Lenny Dykstra.
Center fielder, Lenny Dykstra.
Dykstra's 2 for 4. He has singled, struck out, singled, and grounded out. He has scored one of the Phillies' 2 runs. Bob Guerin out to talk to.
That's Poncino, the second base umpire, who was just asked to move by Lenny Dykstra, and Larry Poncino said fine.
So after getting the first 2 outs, a walk and a base hit, Phillies still alive here in the 9th, trailing by a score of 5-2. Fastball over for a strike. One strike to Lenny Dykstra. In for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Milt Thompson scheduled to hit next. Breaking ball for a called strike. One ball and 2 strikes. Stocker at third, Jordan at first. Strikes is Dykstra to end the ball game. Second strikeout for Mark Davis for the Phillies in the 9th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. Padres win this one by a score of 5-2. We'll be back with the totals and a recap in just a moment.
Okay, panel. How can you recognize the genuine Yellow Pages?
It has a yellow cover.
Good.
It says New Jersey Belle on the front.
Right.
It has more choices inside.
Yes! That's how you tell the genuine article from mere imitators. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
The genuine New Jersey Belle Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company.
During Toyota's July's Jumpin' Sales event, the cars are cooking and so are the deals. What's hotter than Corolla? For 25 years, a benchmark for quality in America. And right now, there's a special lease program that makes it easy to get out of the heat and into a new Corolla, where you'll find even more spacious comfort, quiet, safety, and performance. Or make a great deal on Tercel, the lowest priced 2-door sedan with an airbag. See your Toyota dealer now.
Toyota's hot.
Hot cars, hot deals.
Are you saying that I killed my wife?
I didn't kill my wife! Put that gun down! Turn around!
On August 6th, the chase begins. Harrison Ford is The Fugitive, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, August 6th at a theater near you.
The Fugitive from Warner Brothers presents The Fugitive of the Week. Ricky Henderson steals base number 1066, setting a new world's record, previously held by Japan's Yutaka Fukumoto. Right on.
Back at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, the Padres have won game 1 of this 4-game series by a score of 5-2. For winning San Diego, 5 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. They left 6. Phillies had 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, leaving 8. The win goes to Greg Harris. He's now 9-9. Lost to Danny Jackson. He's 7-7. And Mark Davis gets his first save of the year. as San Diego won it by a score of 5-2. Some shaky defense by the Phillies costing the Phillies this afternoon, and by the unlikely candidate of John Kruk. Kruk, normally a good defensive first baseman, committed an error in that 2-run 7th inning that led to the Padres win, and also a little juggle where he didn't get a final out in the inning. And we'll show you those highlights now. The Phillies got on the board first in the 2nd inning. Darren Daulton doubled, and he went to third on an error on Tony Gwynn. With Daulton at third base, the batter was Jim Eisenreich. Eisenreich slicing that base hit to left field. Daulton scored, and the Phillies were to get another run in the 5th inning. Dave Hollins a base hit, and that plated Lenny Dykstra with his 86th run. But the Padres tied it. Bill Clark playing first base in place of Crime Dog McGriff, a 2-run home run that tied it at 2-2. Padres went ahead in the 7th inning, bases loaded, 2 outs. Watch Tony Gwynn. He doesn't hit this ball well at all. Kruk charges, Anderson covering. Kruk had just that momentary problem getting out of his glove, and Anderson went past the bag, safe all around, 2-run score. Then Billy Beane in the 8th inning goes deep for his first major league home run as San Diego won it by a score of 5-2. Mark Davis getting the last out on a fastball for a called strike to Lenny Dykstra to end the ball game as Davis recorded his first save, and Greg Harris won his 9th ball game. Padres getting the 2-run home run from Phil Clark and a solo home run from Billy Beane. For Billy Beane, that was his first major league home run. Danny Jackson pitched well, but will be the losing pitcher. Danny Jackson did walk too many. He walked 7. He struck out 7, but the walks ended up costing him in that 7th inning when the Padres got their go-ahead runs and went on to win by a score of 5-2. We'll be back with more at Jack Murphy Stadium after these messages.
Your Quality Plus Ford dealers are #1 with the most versatile lineup of family wagons. Going on a picnic, to the store, or across country, there's a Ford wagon for every need. Now save up to $2,900 on a Ford Aerostar. Hurry, save thousands on every wagon in stock. Only at your #1 selling Quality Plus Ford dealer.
5 of the top 10 sellers, all American built quality. See your Ford dealer today. Get behind the wheel and turn the key.
You got all your bad boys, they fight and they curse. But Mr. Goody Two-Shoes will whip you worse. But Mr. Two-Shoes, he got some new shoes. The Robs are red and brown, the shoes and all the universe. He might be nice, sweet, good and kind, but to put his Converse shoes don't let me tie your checks on your behind.
Nice shoes, KJ. See you later, okay?
It was for immigrants and their children and their dreams. It was for families, for new beginnings. And today, there's still just one reason why we always do our best. It's for you. Mellon PSFS.
What could a minute cost if your 800 service goes down? If you're a player on Wall Street, $910,000. But with us, you can stay in the game. Introducing the AT&T 800 service Never Miss a Call Guarantee. Now, if there's a problem, we can reroute your calls in less than a second. Sign up for the Never Miss a Call Guarantee. It's the #1 reason AT&T 800 service is always the smartest play. AT&T, the best in the business. Guaranteed.
Back at Jack Murphy Stadium, San Diego, where the Padres have won game 1 of this 4-game series by a score of 5-2. The Phillies didn't swing the bats particularly well, and unusually, John Kruk had a tough day defensively for the Phils and also with the bat, and it all spelled a 5-2 loss, Wheels.
Yeah, it sure did, Harry. It wasn't a good game today. I think the momentum turner was early in the ball game, as we talked about, when Stocker, the Phillies had a nice little lead working. They had the bases loaded and 1 out, and Kevin Stocker hit that smash, and Harris just reached out. It really just landed in his glove and turned it into a double play, and they didn't get anything out of that inning. That sometimes can be a little bit of a momentum turner. And then, as you said, John Kruk making 2 mistakes in 1 inning, and he usually doesn't make 2 in 2 or 3 weeks. So he made 2 in the 1 inning. And as a result, San Diego wins the ball game, so the road trip does not get off to the start the Phillies certainly hoped it would.
And this really is you know, Jim Fregosi was mentioning about a week ago that he thought this West Coast trip is the most important trip of the year, the most important road swing of the year, because the Phillies had faltered a little before the All-Star break and needed to regain some momentum. So this is a crucial trip.
Yeah, especially when you come out here and play this team, because the Dodgers are tough up at Dodger Stadium, and of course the Giants are very, very good right now. So you come in here and the Padres are all messed up with the McGriff stuff and all the players coming and going and all. This is a team you have to come in, you have to win some games against, and they kind of fell asleep against San Diego here this afternoon. The Padres beat them.
Danny Jackson did pitch well, although the walks hurt him.
Walks hurt him. He got away with it early and finally got burned. You know, it was almost like he let down a little bit in that 1 inning. They had the double play, and it looked like he was out of the inning. All he had to do was get 1 more out, and the 2-run home run by Clark. The Padres got even, and then they finally win the ball game.
But again, in the final analysis, too, the Phillies lead the league in runs scored and could muster only 2 in this ball game. And Phillies known as a long ball club. This guy gives up a lot of home runs. Greg Harris didn't hit a ball out of the ballpark.
Harris did a good job today. He had 8 strikeouts. You know, you strike out 8, even though 3 of them were Jackson. He still pitched very well this afternoon.
So the Padres winning by a score of 5-2. Game 1 of this series against San Diego, a 4-game set, then 3 with the Dodgers and 4 with the San Francisco Giants. Our next telecast here on the Phillies television network is tomorrow night for the second of this 4-game series with the Padres. Tommy Green will go for the Phils. He'll be opposed by Wally Whitehorse for the San Diego Padres, and we'll be on the air at 10:30. So check your local listings for the games carried in your area.